Hello from the Yarn Closet in Southern Arizona. I am Laura. We have Mitzi the dog over here too. She's running about. Come here, show him, say hi. Come on, up. Say hi. Show him your ears. Show him your big ears. Your big ears. You got big ears. You're such a cute girl. She's mad because we have not gone on our walk yet. We've been going on our morning walks. 5:15, 5:30. We go for about 30 to 45 minutes, depending on the morning. And it gets us about 2 miles, maybe 2.5. She's not happy. We haven't done it yet. It's Sunday morning. I just wanted a bit of a break. I have been volunteering at school 4 days a week. Full days. Every other week they have a short Wednesday. And then Thursdays, my daughter's in an after school thing till 4:30. So we're talking 7:30 to 3 or 4. Most days, those every other Wednesdays are 7:30 to about 12:15. It's been absolutely fun. I love it, but it's been a little tiring. To get into this new routine and schedule. I really like the walking early in the morning because it's cool. But since it's been upper 80s the last few days, my husband is a cold body person, very cold. I don't think he regulates his body temperature very well. And so we've had the air conditioner on in my bedroom, which is also the playroom, the last couple nights. And then my son sleeps on this like 4-inch memory foam mattress on the floor. My daughter shares the bed with me because their bedrooms are really hot. But we're trying not to put on air conditioning throughout the entire house because then that colds him out. So really, it's just we're putting it on in the evening and overnight for us to sleep in that room and be more comfortable because we all like colder temperatures and sleep better when it's colder. He still has heat on for himself. So it's just been a lot of adjustment over the last few weeks, and I'm trying to figure out my new flow. I want to give myself more, because I had a lot of rest time all the time because it was just this easy whatever schedule. I want to try to figure out this new flow. And we're only in school until May 17th. And then we've got 2 months off. I think she goes back on July 22nd, I think. And I may go in a few times in over the summer, but it won't be anything as regular. And it really depends on the regular librarian if she goes in, because she's not paid over the summer unless she picks up summer school and works summer school. So it's all dependent on her schedule. There's a big project that I'm working on that hopefully I'll be done with by the end of the school year or thereabouts. But it's really neat. It's really exciting. And it's flowed really, I think, okay with the home life. Mitzi is starting to like the boys better since she's home all day with them. My son can change her diaper and let her in and out. She's letting Dad touch her more. And come on. Guess who the snuggle pumpkin? There it is, a snuggle pumpkin. Mitzi is a Maltese Yorkie mix, Berkshire Terrier. So that's where her coloring comes from and her demeanor. And she loves her morning 2 miles because she runs after the rabbits and the roadrunners and the lizards are starting to come out. And we're just on the cusp of the really bad goat heads and stickers and things. We've already had a few cats come in just covered. And then on the cat story, The ginger, who will be a year old in June, that we got last August because we found her in the wash, turns out my husband was at the house she came from and saw her other litter mates who look just like her, but are literally twice as big as she is. She is the runt and she's super tiny. 5 pounds max. And so I've never wanted her to go back outside. We had one other small cat like that. I had a really bad feeling, and then one day she just never came back. Now that happens with our normal sized cats too. We've had a few of them over the time that we've been here. That has happened. I mean, coyotes, mountain lions. One day this last week, I had to take my sweatshirt off in the morning, tie it around me like a baby carrier, and kind of put Mitzi in it because she refused to do half the walk. Because when we came outside, it was just coyote central. It couldn't see them, but you could hear them yipping all around us, and dogs barking and stuff. So stuff was going on and she wouldn't get down. But they're not going to attack me, and even if I'm holding her, they're not going to attack me. So I just did the walk, and eventually it stopped, and then she walked the last mile. But the little kitten has started really being vocal about wanting to go outside, and he has no resolve. So he uses his resolve in other ways. So that'll be interesting to see how that progresses over the summer. We went out to eat yesterday in Tucson with my parents for my daughter's birthday. She's 9 on Tuesday. And so we did that. That was fun. Then we're going to do cupcakes at school on Tuesday and just a small cake at home with dinner Tuesday night and a few more presents. We don't do big birthdays every year. I don't think kids need big, Chuck E. Cheese, Pizza Hut. I'm trying to think of things that are more cross regions. Game places and food places where you end up spending $1,000 on gift bags for other kids and meals and tokens and everything. I don't think they need that every year. I think that's kind of ridiculous. So we don't do that. Last year, she had a park birthday. The year before that, she had a birthday party at our house that we invited a bunch of neighbors and relatives. And then this year we just did quiet. We're doing quiet. We did my parents and then just the 4 of us at home this next week. And I think that's fine. I think it's okay to show kids that there's different seasons, different times for things. And yes, I think that in today's society, you have gender reveals now because people don't get together as much as they used to. We used to always have weekend barbecues. But barbecues that were potluck, you brought your own stuff for your own family and then mixed it in and everybody shared and you hung out. That doesn't happen that often. People are too busy. They don't value that kind of time. So I don't know. It's tough. But look at this. Look at what happened in the last few weeks. It's nice to be slightly distracted at work about my hair because my hair has gone from bob to now it's just over the cusp, and now we're back into kind of long zone. Saw my sister-in-law. She's out at her property today. Our hair was the same. I swear to God, our hair was the same at one point. She says her hair growth is 2 years. So maybe last year when my hair was here, her hair was here. But her hair is now past her boobs. She has American Indian, my hair just grows straight and long really fast. Drives me batty. So jealous. But It is what it is. People would kill for my color hair. I've found the max on my vibrating plate. So I've been taking it up, different levels to see like how high I can get. I think I had some neck problems this last week that I think the vibrating plate may have contributed to it. Because I was getting up like 7, 8, 9, 10. So I took a couple days off. I'm gonna go back on it today, but I'm gonna go back down to like 4. Because everything I've researched, I don't think you have to be at like max intensity. Hold on, I think I have a cat that wants to come in. You wanna come in? I think that for the vibrating plate benefit of getting your lymph system moving and building up your bone density and your bone growth, which is why I'm doing it. From everything I've researched, I think instead of doing a higher intensity, what I need to do is lower intensity, but at maybe a longer, that's Rocky. Say hi, Rocky. Rocky is one of our triplets from St. David. He was from a feral family that got caught in the floods last year, and the mom and 3 siblings died. So we found out about it on Facebook and we took him in. And it was his youngest sister, who was the runt and super tiny, that we lost a few months back. This is the room that they were in when they were just feral kittens, because I had to have them in here for like 6 weeks before they were big enough to even get spayed, neutered. And then, hi. And then we had to have them recover for a few weeks before we put them in with the regular cats, because I didn't want them to get beat up by the older boys. Well, I do have a weird little bump there. That feels like an owie. Yeah, you had stickers today. Yeah. Okay. Can you hear his purring? I hope you can hear his purring. I just love yous. So I have a little bit of content on the knitting front, so we'll get to that. So I have had a little bit of time between 4 and 4:30 when the library closes, and I have to wait for my daughter on Thursdays. I've made a little bit of progress on my Danish sweater-inspired pattern. And I got to sit with my daughter's 2nd grade teacher, find out that she's actually a knitter, and she's just gotten back into it, but she's kind of basic and a little timid. So I've tried to give her some encouragement. I have a pattern book. I might give her the one from this pattern, because it's pretty simple patterns. This is such heavy woolen yarn. I think I might put this aside now for the summer and just focus on the lighter weight stuff. I feel more of a draw to that. So I've worked on that sweater. I think I'm getting close to splitting for the seams, because I don't think I want it super long. And then I finished my little purse from, there's an empty box in here and he just crawled in it. And Mitzi's like, what's the deal? So I finished my purse from Easter. These are good to give to little kids because you can throw them in the washer and dryer when you make them out of the cotton. But also, like here, you can throw in a couple snacks, you can throw in a small water bottle that doesn't leak, and a little kid can wear it. But it's the wash factor that is super cool. So that's why I'm always making those. Or I make them smaller, I make them water bottle size, and I make them a little bit taller with longer cords for when we go hiking and stuff, because water here is a huge thing. You always must have it. Yes, I do have these here. Good. Okay. I am thinking about giving her this one. The problem is that the patterns are not exactly Arizona friendly. But I think she'd get a kick out of it. And I know that there's at least a few that that might work for her. So I'm thinking about that. And then this is the Danish sweater inspired book. So I was always told that my grandpa was half Danish, half Italian, and my grandma was full Italian. So when I found this, I thought it was fascinating. Also because these are built on texture. I mean, there is some color work ones in here, but these are built on texture and not color work. I find stranded color work very difficult. I've done it a few times. I enjoy it in a very simple, where you don't have to pick up floats as you're going and stuff. I enjoy it in a very simple pattern. But it's challenging. So I only end up doing very little bits. This is the one that I kind of took inspiration on. You can see how heavily patterned it is, and I like texture. So I did a similar texture on the bottom. You will notice that is a long sleeve sweater. I am not making mine long sleeve. I am making mine, so I did the split hem and I did the texture. I am making mine this kind of cap sleeve, split sleeve thing. And then I am planning to do a little bit more texture up here, or attempting to. That be the plan, people. That be the plan. And then the other day, where we had something going on. Oh, we had an emergency drill this week. That's what you call it when you don't want to tell kids you're drilling for shooters. So we had one school, the previous school that I worked at, that had fire drills or lockdowns. So kids knew a lockdown was what you were doing to prep for school shooters. Kids have been so inundated by this now that they are so have so much anxiety and stress over it. And I don't blame them. I have anxiety and stress over it. I don't like to think about it when I'm there. And the lady I work with, at one point, all of her family was on campus because her and her husband worked. Our campus is preschool, kindergarten, primary school, middle school, and high school. And it's an open campus because we're in Arizona. So you walk from classrooms to lunch building to library building you walk to these different buildings. So at one point, all of her family was there. And she's like, that was very stressful. Can't even imagine. I was married to a teacher, and there were a couple of incidents that he had to deal with, and that upset and stressed me out. But I don't even know where the other tube that matches this went to. I don't know. I think I maybe made it into fingerless gloves. So this is just going to be a mismatched sock in my mismatched sock deal, because I think it's the dirt here, the dust in the air that gets into everything. I'm just so hard on my socks. And if it was just a blowout in the toe or the heel, fine. But it's a blowout right here because I've got a lot of callus right there. Or it's a blowout here on the side where I've got bunion stuff or whatever. So I blow them out in weird places. So I fix them as much as I can. But eventually I get to the point where I'm I have to cut the whole foot off and start over. And I might, if I'm motivated, or I might just toss it. Because we all get to that point, right? So I'm on this one and the sweater that are ones I'm going to kind of keep in rotation. I'm going to put out the bulkier one, put that away for the season, I think. And And then because I get questions in the library, like from the first graders, why are you trying to look stupid? What? I'm not trying to look stupid. With your eyes. Oh, my eyes are broken. I'm cross-eyed. This eye doesn't actually work. See that cane over there? It's because I don't see well. I don't see all the way to the ground clearly, so I need the cane so I don't trip and fall. And that's why I'm at this computer, because I literally, like if this was my computer at work, okay, I am literally like here, and it's a touch screen so I can touch, and I literally sit right up to it. But somehow they don't pick up on that. And because I'm a mom, and they all know I'm a mom of a kid in the school, I think that also kind of freaks them out, because parents aren't supposed to have issues, right? How can you be a parent and have issues? So I've had to been finding some of my Braille stuff and my blind stuff. Because I think at some point there might be more questions. But that's been kind of fun. I mean, I don't mind talking about it. I think I've figured out ways to talk about it in a productive manner. These are Braille playing cards. Can you see that the case even has Braille on it? What's in here? Okay, I think that's good. But yeah, that's really about it. That's about all I got going on. I think I'm going to stand on my vibrating plate after we get done here for about 10 minutes. I'll maybe push it to 12. So I think my plan is to go from higher numbers to stay at 4 and try to get to the point where I can stand on it for a longer period. I think the goal is 20 minutes. However, I don't know that I can do that without doing other activity while on it. So I do my neck stretches while I'm on it, and I do some arm stretches. I've got some weight right by there, so I can do some light weight while I'm on it, because I still really want the benefit of being on it. And you can't really take your feet off of it too much and still have that benefit. So you got to kind of leave both your feet on it. You can move positions. And when you move positions on the board, it feels a little less here, a little more here. And when you can feel it move up into your body, or move your body in such a way that you feel it more through this whole side or that whole side. I mean, I've done a lot of research. You're actually getting to more of the bones and giving them that benefit of the vibration to increase the bone density. So that's where we're at with it. And I will try to stay on a weekly schedule. I think I'll be able to do it. And that's my goal. I've been able to do the other goals I've had for this year, which has really been encouraging, because I keep reminding myself, these goals are goals I set for me. I don't have to be rigid about them, but I have to prove to myself that I can do things. I can be true to myself. I've gotten to the point now where for the year, my daily step average is just over 4,500. Before the end of this year, I'm going to get to the place where my daily step average has hit 5,000, and that's my goal, is to stay in a place where my daily steps are at 5,000 on average. So some days they're not going to be there. And I try to make my goal, I try to get somewhere between 4,000 and 5,000 in my walk, my daily walk. And then the library's got a lot of walking in it, because you're putting books back on the shelf, and we have such a big library with steps and ramps and things that we're not bringing carts with us a lot of the time. So it's a chunk of books and walk around to that section, then go get a different section's chunk and go over there. So there is a lot of walking. There are days where I walk 4,000 in the morning, and by the time I get home, I'm at 8,000. I've doubled. So, stop. Come on. What? You won't go in the house? Sorry, that was Little. She wanted to go in the house. Little is our gray kitten that we found. It had been trapped in the downspout at our previous house for like 3 days. And she knows what she wants. And so if she doesn't want to come in here, she's not going to come in here. But I feel really good reminding myself that I made a plan for my own benefit. For my own benefit, I did this walking thing. I'm volunteering at the school for my own benefit. Some people have commented to me that I'm letting the school take advantage of me. If that's the way you want to look at it, that's just fine. I like getting out of the house. Yes, the money would be extremely helpful in this economy for my family, but it's not entirely necessary. We're not making any extra trips to the school that we wouldn't already make, so we're not adding any gas to the budget. I'm eating leftover lunches and snacking less throughout the day, so that's handy. But I'm also getting socialization and feeling useful, and we all need that. Everybody needs that. And me being gone has motivated my husband to do some more of his projects that he's wanted to get at. Because I think there is a competitiveness in him, like, oh God, she's doing something, I got to do something more. So y'all think I'm crazy. Wait till you're in that retirement zone. Just wait. So I don't feel taken advantage of. If I ever feel taken advantage of, I will walk away from it. But at this point, I really feel a benefit. Danielle, my boss, is that a new cat, Mitzi? Mitzi's so good. She always goes to the door when there's a cat mewing that we don't really hear. No, Mitzi, come here. Mitzi, come. I think that's a cat at the inside of the house door. But she's really good that if, like, there was a day where I had my sunglasses on all day and she's like, what's going on? And I said, oh, I have a headache. And she's like, well, then stop. And I'm like, well, if I stopped when I had a headache, I wouldn't do anything. I've got headaches so much of the time because of my eyes. I don't have the migraines I used to have, which thank God for that. I mean, that's a joy and a half in the menopausal period of your life, post-menopausal. But this one is too long, and the scissor's not cutting it because you've got that slippery hairs. So I don't have the migraines, thank God for that. That's a different season in my life. And the headaches, I mean, I can work through them. I can do stuff through them. It's not too bad. But I did take more breaks that day, went outside because it's an open campus and just kind of looped around our building a bit. Sat in the back room for a little bit and knit. I just feel really grateful. And I feel really grateful that I have stuck to the walking plan, the exercise plan, trying to up my protein intake and focus more on my nutrition. I don't have a nutrition conscious, supportive household. So I do the best I can in that zone. But I've also been really talking to the kids about, here's the thing about life, because I've got one who's going to be a senior next year. Life isn't about the one next goal and and then you've achieved it and you're good. You achieve that goal, all of a sudden there's a new goal ahead of you. But here's the thing, the stuff that really pays off in life is consistency. Marriage is very hard. It is not always satisfying. I think as children we're given this idea that the prince and the princess, that it's a fairy tale, that it's going to be satisfying all the time, that it's going to be fulfilling, that it's whatever. No, there are seasons in marriage that are just not. You know, when you've got a bunch of little babies under 5, it's just work and tough and exhausting. When you are in different seasons in that married life, it's just different. And I don't think that I was taught that well growing up. I think that I've only really come to it in the last 15 years, that that's something that I've struggled with and been working on, is the things that have really given back to me in my life are the things that I've been consistent at over a long period of time. And they maybe didn't give back in a big way. I feel much healthier a few months into this daily walking and food consciousness, with shifting my focus, less sugar and more protein. And having more of a balance between the 5 pillars in life, which are sleep, nutrition, exercise, routine, and social interaction. And now that I've got that social component built in, because I'm going out into the world, that's good. And I'm seeing the benefit of it. And I'm recognizing that I am postmenopausal. We thicken in our middle at this stage in our female life. The reason for that is because your uterus becomes more fragile. So now all of a sudden, you need to be protecting that with that little extra bit, because your uterus can get damaged and be, and that can be really harmful to you in similar ways to like when your spleen gets damaged in a car accident or whatever. And people don't know that. We don't talk about that. The information behind why these things happen to women and why they change in these ways isn't made clear. I'm okay with the fact that my middle is thicker, that pants don't fit in the same way, that this is all happening, because I'm working at being okay with it and recognizing that this is the stage I'm at. I think the goal in life is to come to peace and contentment in each stage as we progress. And I think that can be very hard for people. So, is the cat out there, Mitzi? Let's see. Let's take everybody for a walk. Let's look out the window. I hear a cat. I just don't see it. Is it up in the... Nope, I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. Okay. Sometimes it climbs this semi-dead tree. Yeah, see, that's my view, my little mountains. My little mountains. So anyway, I've chatted and babbled enough for today. I'll post this later today. I hope you all look with your heart first, not your eyes. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you again.